Hi, Sashidharan here again. Uh, it's the 3rd of April, and I'm now on to my second video in my channel. I don't know if I can call it that yet. So, so what do I talk about today? I think I would like to talk about the things that one is born with, things you have no choice about. Uh, your I'm not talking about the genes that you inherit, the physical characteristics that you inherit, and all those things. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the biological aspect of it. I'm talking about what the child, just after he's or she's born, gets from society, which he has to bear all his life, deal with that. And in that, the first thing he gets is his or her name. See, he doesn't choose his name. So somebody chooses it for him. Nobody asks him whether he liked the name or not. So the parents or grandparents, someone comes out to the name, and they all agree. And I'm talking about in the Indian context. Um, yeah, there are instances where parents decide the name of the child even before they are born. Uh, I, in my case, in our case, we did that. We had zoomed in on names even before the children were born. If we had decided that if it was going to be a girl child, she would be called this. If it was a boy child, he would be called this. So we did our little research and we came out with names that I liked and my wife liked, and we went ahead with it. Um, so there, the child does not have any choice. The other thing the society immediately gives the child is um, a caste surname or a caste identity, which is pretty strong in a country like India, uh, especially the north, where your caste is your basic identity. They don't even bother what your first name is. They'll ask you what is the second name. Like when they go to the police station with an FIR, I guess when you tell them the name, tell them your name. He would ask, and what? Ramesh what? Then if you say Ramesh Sharma, you will get different kind of treatment, and that's how it is. So that second thing that we get from society immediately after you're born, because you're born in that particular family, you will get this caste surname, which uh, which is a generational uh, generational aberration that we get right from childhood. And yeah, and that the third thing is the religion. A child, no child freshly born has any religion, but they are they are brought into the religion of the parents uh, through rituals and um, storytelling and the culture and the house. All that is imbibed by the child, and the child doesn't become a Hindu, Christian, or Muslim. The child um, uh, that identity becomes very important for the child. His name, his dressing, his food, his culture, everything is uh, connected to that religion, and so that forms part of his identity. So these are three things that you get from the immediate family and and society, which cannot be um, which cannot be changed even in later years when the child becomes sensible. He starts thinking, then he's uh, then he gets awareness of his society, of the world, of belief, of this whole religious systems. By then, he is already formed his identity, and then after that, breaking away from that identity is not easy. So let's start with the name. Uh, uh, the parents give the child a name, and when the child grows up and goes to the school, uh, if your name is not a normal name, uh, a commonly used name, um, easily pronounceable, and all that, uh, then it's a problem for the child. Suppose his name is Rajesh or Rajiv or 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 something like Mohan, then he doesn't have much of a problem because children, his classmates, his teachers, they are all used to this name, and uh, there is no problem. They accept the name, and there is no the child does not feel any sense of uh, alienation or sense of irritation that his name is being mispronounced, or he is not able to express what his name exactly is pronounced as, and all that. That feels very simple, but it can be very traumatic. Like in my case, my parents decided to give me this very common Malayali name called Shashi, and then they put one tail to that, made it Shashidharan, which in Sanskrit it means the one who holds the moon, which is Shiva. So uh, they gave me this name with a Malayalam spelling. Malayalam, it's Shashi. Okay, but there is no English way of spelling it. So they had to put Sasitharan, Sasidharan. So in English, it didn't pronounce the way it was supposedly uh, uh, ought to be pronounced. The Malayalam name could not be written in English. So they just gave me this Sasidharan, which sounds like Sasidharan. Sasidharan. And when I started going to school, I started feeling odd because I started my school in the north, in a place called Balasore in Orissa, coastal town, small town, but lovely place. I still remember that place. So in that school, they my father gave this spelling Sasidharan, whereas in the north of India, the same name is used because it means the moon. But there they use the Sanskritized form of the name, that is Shashi, and that they spell it spell it as Shashi. So that's Shashi. So Shashi is okay. So the north, when you go to the north, they're okay with Shashi. There are Shashi males and Shashi females. I mean, because moon, I don't know, I don't know if the moon is uh, has both the genders, or I don't know why, but Shashi is used for females and males. So, so when I was there in my school, people, teachers, students, I mean classmates, they used to they used to call me Sassi, because I was not, I had to be differentiated between from SHI, which is their spelling. So teachers also used to stumble upon how to call me, and I used to feel odd when they asked my name. I would also start, for a second, I would be confused whether to say Shashi, which is more acceptable to them, or my own name, which is Shashi, which cannot even be pronounced by the North Indian people. That Shah is not there in Hindi or English, or I don't know, other languages. Malayalam has got a lot of special uh, letters with pronunciations that are more close to French than Indian languages. So then I would for a second hesitate, and in that hesitation, I would lose confidence. Then I would blurt out something like Sashi, mix between Shashi and Sasi. So I had this problem throughout my schooling. After 5 or 6 years of schooling in the north, I mean Balasore, Orissa, I then I shifted. Then I was put in a hostel in Chennai uh, Central School, and there again I had this issue because in Tamil, of course, it was a metropolitan city, so um, I I already had this problem of um, how to pronounce my own name. So when I came to Chennai, I had the same issue. I used to try to tell them I'm Shashi, but they would look at my spelling and say, "Huh, what? This name doesn't sound like Shashi." So then I had to again go through hell. This continued for a long time. I was never confident about my uh, name. And the other thing was my father, being a rationalist in his times, a bit of Periyarist, I guess. He opted out of using the caste name, which is Menon in our case, and he did not include that Menon in my name also. So I didn't have any surname or a name instead. What do you call it? Uh, Alternate name to be called by. So Sasidharan was the only thing which I had, and there was one P, the initial, which stood for Parur. Okay, and that was unpronounceable anywhere in India other than Kerala and maybe France. Uh, that was my that I got from my matrilineal ancestry, because we Nayars have had a matriarchal system where the women ran the house, or women owned the houses and properties and everything, and the children uh, got their uh, got their ancestral name from that house, that particular tarwad. So uh, expressing my name used to be a problem always. They would Stop me at Parur. What? Parur? Padur? This was the usual question. And then what does it stand for? Your dad's name is Parur? They would ask me that. No, sir. Then what is it? Is it somebody? Is it somebody else's name? Your grandfather's name? No, sir. It's a name of a house, an ancestral house. And then they would go blank, like, you're named after your house. Wow. And then I didn't have any menon to go along with this, which would have made life a little more easier. But I had to struggle with Paru and I had to struggle with Sasi, Shashi, Shashi. And so it went on like that for a long time. Then I decided to, when I went into business after, uh, I was into brand building and stuff. So I had a small company. Then I decided to uh, take this problem by the bull because I had to, my name was important. It had to be simple and uh, rememberable, memorable, or easy to remember. So I found this middle path. I made my name Sashi, Sashi, and I added this Menon. So people could remember me by Sashi or Menon being a pretty common surname. They could remember me by that. And adding that privileged caste surname has advantages. It's you can't deny that. However liberal you are, this country gives a lot of advantage to the privileged castes. It's part of life here. So I did that. I didn't go for a name change or anything. I just had visiting cards printed with this SASHI Abhiyanan, Sashi Menon, because I had to brand myself, and it worked. Wherever I was in the area where I was working, I was called either Menon or Sashi Menon, and then I had some easy time with my name. I didn't have to explain myself. I removed the P and Parur and everything, so I didn't have to go into those details and make them pronounce things that they couldn't pronounce. So that was a good phase when I did not face much of a name issue. But otherwise, when it came to again official records and property registration and vehicle registration and our Aadhaar cards and all those things, driving license, there again I had to use my original name because that was a name in my birth certificate, 10th standard mark sheet, and all those things. That was the official name. I had not changed it. So I had to, once my business life was over, my branding days were over, I had to again revert back to this original name. And then the same issues started happening. Uh, Sasidaran or Shashidaran or Sashi or what? And what is this Parur? Uh, so so it's very important what name you give to the child because he has no choice in that matter. I would recommend uh, whoever is going to have a baby or whoever has a baby now and going to in the process of naming the baby, I would recommend those parents to name the child uh, very uh, crisp, easily pronounceable, and uh, not very unusual names. The child suffers later. We might find it very nice, and we might feel that my son has a unique name and all that. But a child goes through problems a lot. I know. I've been there. So give them a crisp name which he can identify with very easily, like um, uh, I'm Karan. Hello, and I'm Karan. Hello, I'm Rajiv. Hello, I'm Mohan. Uh, Hello, I am Ravindran. Hello, I am David, or hello, I am Iqbal. That's it makes the whole introduction so easy and introduction so crisp. I struggle even now. In the video you must have seen. This is Sashi Dharan Parur. This is what I say, and I am already a notch uh, down in my confidence because most of the people won't even have caught the name. So yeah, so this is my advice. Give them crisp names, not very unusual, uh, not very difficult to pronounce or spell. The child should feel very easy when people ask their names, when he's just 5, 4, 5, 6 and all that. When somebody asks him his name, he should be able to just blurt it out just easily, and that's very important. And it's good for him later in life also when he introduces himself to a girl, to an employer, to a partner, to a client. It makes the introduction very crisp and memorable. It goes with a handshake. Yeah, I am Rajiv. Yep, that's it. You take 3 seconds for the handshake, and you just take 3 seconds for the passing on the name, and done. And the fellow, he gets it. He's Rajiv. That's it. Uh, I have no partiality to this name Rajiv, but I'm just using it here. It just came to my mind, and so I'm using it. But I'm sure you got my point. Yeah. The second thing is the issue of the caste surname that people give in their school admission. Parents give in the school admission thing. I would strongly recommend uh, not to give any caste name because you never know um, what frame of mind the child might have later in life. Suppose he turns out to be a, a very anti-caste, a liberal, um, uh, left-leaning. No, that's wrong. Left-leaning doesn't come there. Anti-caste, secular person who is against the caste system and does not like these caste tales, he would have to do something to remove that caste name, later in life if you add it. But if in the other case, if you don't put it, like my dad did not put it for me, and in my business years, in my professional years, I felt like using it, I could use it. Nobody could stop me because there was no falsity in it. It was the truth. My ancestral surname is that, and I could use it for branding purposes. So I had the choice. So I think parents should give the child the choice instead of adding it, and then later on the boy or girl has to change the name in the official records, drop that surname. Why make him go through that? Instead, have no surname, caste surname, caste tail, that's what it's called, and let him decide later what to do, whether to add it or not. He can add it if he wants to, and if he doesn't, well and good. Little less of caste name around. That's good for the society. So that's my take on the caste surname. And I think the other thing that the house name that Nayars put, I think that phase is waning off because there are no ancestral houses left in the first place, and the matriarchal system is no more there. So I think that has died. So that problem is solved, has been taken care of by nature. No child would have to explain to the teacher what PAZHOOR uh, uh, means or how it is pronounced or uh, where is that name from and all those things. So that has been taken care of by nature, I think. So that was the second thing. Don't put the surname, caste surname, while registering for admission or taking the birth certificate in the initial stages when you get your birth certificate. Try to avoid that surname or avoid that surname. I would say not try to avoid that caste tail. Free the child from that identity uh, sticker. Okay, and the number three I said was religion. Yeah, this is a little complicated in a country like India where uh, everything revolves around religion. The birth, the child, there is religion involved. You have religious rituals connected with the childbirth, and then uh, there are rituals involved in the child's. Actually, there are rituals involved even before he's born. When he is conceived in the stomach, there are rituals. The mother uh, is the is given. There's a puja with the mother in the center stage, and so from there it starts. Then there is the childbirth and the rituals involved with that, pujas and stuff. Then each year, birthdays and every festival, there are pujas involved almost every day. Most religion is on your face right since the day you're born in this country. There is no escape. So by the time the child comes to his awareness age 5, 6, 7, and all that, he has a very strong sense of his religious identity. He does not even question it. He thinks that's how it is. That's it. That's he has no choice in it. Like if suppose he was born with he was a left-handed guy, he won't have a choice. No, he would manage with that. Likewise, the boy or girl, the child thinks that the religious identity was a given. There was no choice at all. Um, and I believe that is absolutely wrong. That's like Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens and all those people say that's child abuse. You are putting the child through something which he has no choice about. Um, like Like there is this. I can only talk much about Hinduism because I'm born Hindu. I can't comment about other religions where also there are uh, very difficult rituals for the child. Like here in our Hindu religion, there is this the kid is taken to a religious place and his head is shaven and the hair is given as a sacrifice to the god. Imagine a 6 month old baby, a year old baby going through this trauma. It is horrible trauma actually. That whole process. My children hated it and they cried and bawled and you have to really the parents have to really pin the child down for this to happen because that is the first time somebody is violating their skin, in a very uh, very and it's a stranger coming with a knife and violating his head. So just think what the child must be going through. That's traumatic, no? So that, and then when it comes to the girl, there is this ear piercing ceremony, which is also not their choice. There is a nose piercing ceremony. There used to be. Those things don't have aren't there now. Then and so these pilgrimages, the difficult pilgrimages that these parents make the child go through. In our case, my children had to go to Tirupati temple every year by foot from the bottom of the hill to the top. It was a grueling 6 hour trek. We used to try to make it as fun as possible, but given a choice, would they have liked that? No, they didn't have a choice. We dragged them along. And then as they grew older, 6, 7, 8, they thought, okay, this punishment it's an annual punishment which we have to go through. Okay, let's just get over with. So that is child abuse, right? Uh, and so and um, the child, whether the child is going to grow up and when he becomes aware about life, about the whole uh, game of existence, uh, about pain, suffering, old age, death. When he gets an awareness of all these things, uh, then he starts using most most people, most children start using this religion as a crutch to hold on to. You get it? That is like they have fear of dying, but the religion tells you that no, you're going to have an afterlife. This is just a sound. This is just a this thing trial or a trailer. The actual film is ahead after you die. So there is uh, something to be looked forward to. So that person or the child grows up um, with these crutches. Whenever he feels the awareness of non-existence, uh, I mean death. Uh, I'm sure it's a very. I have gone through it. I've gone through it all my life. I get these pangs of anxiety and fear when I think of non-existence. But I have managed it myself. I go through it and I feel like screaming, and maybe I scream in my inside, the scream that doesn't come out, and within a few seconds, I'm back to normal. So these things once the child becomes aware of all these things, I'm sure they go through these fears, fear of mortality and all that, fear of the parents dying, because the parents are they are dependent totally on their parents when they are small. So this when they come to know that there is something called death, there is a finality of death, and then the first thing that strikes them is, what if my father dies? What happens to us? What happens to me? What if my mom dies? And then slowly it that fear, and later on in a couple of years time, as the child matures a little more, then he starts thinking about his own death. Then those death pangs come, and I believe because of this religious uh, foundation that the parents in the society and culture has given the child, he throws all these fears into that bin, that compartment, and finds solace. Um, so that way, sometimes I feel religions are good for people like them. But suppose the child turns out to be a very what is the name? What is the word? There's a word for it. A child who is very curious. Um, okay, forget. My memory is not very good. So if the child is too aware, and the child questions everything, then the child is not likely to be consoled with this afterlife and God and heaven and all these things, because he knows there is no evidence. Uh, the child is critical, he has critical thinking more than the others. So he would question everything. He would question, so what happens? Where are all those people who died all these years? Is there any evidence of this heaven? And has somebody come there and told us that this is how it is? These questions haunt the child for a long time, and then it can happen that the child loses that clutch. He he then comes to a conclusion that those are delusional clutches. Uh, they are not worth relying on. And once he gets that um, awareness, then he doesn't have any use of this religion. Then every religious ritual, he finds that to be a very um, unnecessary, irritating, time consuming, energy consuming, uh, foolish thing, you know. And how can you blame him for that? His critical mind is not accepting these things. So then he goes through this inner trauma. One side of his brain wants to clutch onto something like religion or God or heaven or afterlife and all that. Then the other critical side says, no, this is all bullshit. And as the child grows, he becomes a teenager, gets more awareness about life, um, uh, about the world, about existence, about relationships, about love, suffering, death, disease. As he grows up, then he for the time for some time he or she tries something called spirituality, which is tailor made for people like those those kinds of people, those kinds of children or teenagers who are too critical, who have critical thinking, and who don't who cannot use religious clutches. There is this thing called spirituality where um, you go into meditation and knowing yourself, and then you achieve a state of nirvana, or a state where you don't feel all these fears. You are above all these things. You're not. You are kind of superhuman. So they try to aim for that, and then they join cults. There are so many cults catering to those kinds of people, and they join cults, and uh, they they totally switch off their critical thinking, become cultish in their behavior, and that's a very bad journey. You know, that's so. A lot of people who uh, are unable to use religion as a clutch or a bin for their fears, they choose this spirituality and uh, all these paths that the babas and matas they show you. You you follow them. You consider them as prophets or as messengers of God, and you give up your critical thinking to them, and and you basically outsource your uh, rationality or irrationality, whatever you call it, to them. That's like uh, following, who was that guy who rid a city of rats? I forgot his name. So it's like that. You're just following, switching off your critical thinking and following somebody and blindly believing whatever he says, and then that ends in violence. Sometimes that ends in mass um, self harm. You must have heard about Jonestown and stuff. And so some people end up there, and then there are these the leftovers like me who couldn't find any solace there too in spirituality and all that, in uh, uh, reading stuff that were written by so-called maharshis and uh, gyanis and all that. That did not give me any solace. They were as delusional as religion is. So then I had to drop everything. I had to completely come out of everything and accept the fact that, yeah, there are no clutches. There is this life, and then there is death. There is existence, and there is non existence. There is material, and there is life. You were material earlier, you have a life now, you again go back to being material. Uh, that's it. And there is no reason or anything why you are here. Those are just stories, and there is no purpose. Uh, there's no grand scheme. Uh, we just happen to be here. Earlier dinosaurs were the dominant species, and they got wiped out, and then we slowly, human beings evolved and we have reached this stage. The only difference is that we have this awareness of our own death. We have this awareness of existence, and the animals don't. The mm, uh, the other species in our tree of life, uh, they have no sense of their existence. They may have, but it's very light. It's very it's very uh, crude, or they don't have to worry about. They don't sit and get pangs of uh, fears of dying and fears of their parents dying or children dying, and they don't have that fear. Of course, they grieve when their child dies or their parents die. That grieving is there. That is recorded and it is documented. That's there, but otherwise, they don't have this awareness of having been born into existence from non-existence, and then the inevitability of going towards non-existence again. That awareness they don't have, and that's why they're so free. They're so happy. They just go about their lives, have fun, eat, drink, and be merry. Not drink, eat and have fun, and then die one day. That's it. They don't think about this grand scheme, or we are part of a huge uh, story where uh, if we live in a certain way, we will be rewarded later in the next life. All that is so complicated and so laughable, actually, isn't it? So the animals don't have this complication at all. And can we aim to achieve that? Uh, People say you can, like the Stoics in the Western philosophy. Stoics with there's this thing called Stoicism, where uh, you just accept things as they are, and you are unmoved, and you don't think much about what is going to happen. You just live for the moment. All that is nice to hear, but uh, the fears and the insecurities and all those things, I don't think as long as a human being lives, those things go away, or you can overcome that in a totally 100% way. No, I could see fear in my father's eyes when he was sure he was going to die. Uh, I clearly saw um, terror, like he was really scared, and and the same thing I saw in my mom's case also. They were actually, my father was an atheist, and for him, he was pretty stoic in his life. Nothing could really disturb him much. He could take any shit. He had a tough life. Maybe that toughened him up, and he was pretty strong that way. But when it came to death, I saw a different person. I saw him uh, melt. I saw him become vulnerable, fragile, scared. Uh, so as long as that's a part of being born human. That's the human condition. There's no running away from that. And my mother was quite a staunch, no, I can't call her a staunch believer, but she was a real believer. She always used to have her prayers in her mind, and she was very ritualistic about her prayers and the pujas that Hindus are supposed to do. She wouldn't miss any of them. Uh, but in the end, she also was. I could see fear and everything in her eyes. But of course, in her case, uh, she had slowly become. Um, she had lost her sense of awareness or memory and all those things. She was not sharp. So her fears. I mean, I couldn't see because I was there only the last few days. But she was going through panic attacks and stuff. That's what I heard from my sister and brother. They were there in the nights. She used to get panic attacks. She used to roll on the bed and she used to talk of death, I guess. And so that fear of mortality was there for her also. So in the end, there is no running away. No clutch is going to help you in the end. So then, why use these clutches? Uh, when you get those pangs of fear, go through it. I still get them at this age. That sudden awareness that, yeah, I don't have much time and there is non-existence looming ahead, and it could be any moment, and then that's it. Uh, a few days there will be some people mourning, and there'll be some rituals and some pujas and all that for some time, 13 days, and the 13th day they'll have a feast, and everyone will be talking about other things, not me. and and then few months on, they won't even remember me. Uh, Nobody's going to miss me, and life will go on. Everything will go on, and so um, yeah. So let me come back to that point that uh, m- injecting religion into the children while they are small and their brains are not formed yet uh, is not a good idea. I would advise parents to just keep it personal, uh, go about doing your rituals and stuff, but don't make the children go on pilgrimages, hard pilgrimages, and don't make them stand in queues of thousands, in the queues that take 7 hours to reach the God inside. Don't do all that, please. And don't go and do this tonsuring of head. It's unhealthy to take a 6 7 month old kid or 8 month old kid to a place where uh, temples and temple towns are one of the most um, dangerous places for getting infections, because millions of people come there and they stay there and just go, and they eat there, they defecate in the places there, they spit, our Indian speciality, spitting on the roads. That must be a real, uh, what do you call it, a laboratory of viruses and germs and everything. It's a miracle that uh, no big pandemic or something have started or have resulted because of these gatherings. And so, my advice would be to go easy on religion with the children. Don't inject religion to them. Uh, Let them watch what you're doing. Um, Give them the basic education about other religions. Uh, don't tell them uh, definitely that there is something called heaven, hell, afterlife, and all that. Don't don't try to convince them about all these things. Let them hear all these things. Let them imbibe all these things. Let them get a lot of things from the internet and from their friends, from society, from the streets, from school. Let them get all these ideas, and then when they become aware, when they become teenagers, let them decide. Let them decide according to the personality they are. If they have a uh, personality that accepts these religious uh, myths and um, the benefits of being religious, let them become religious. Just allow them to become religious. And if they are not into that, let them become spiritual. Yeah, I would rather not they become cultists, because cults are a dangerous place. So if they want to become agnostics or atheists, just allow them to be. There's nothing wrong. I have been an atheist for the last 40 years. 40 years. And I did not lose any sleep because of that. I have gone through a lot of problems in life, but I I have never thought that, if only I was religious, I could have prayed to God and got a better deal, uh, and all that. But even those thoughts never occur to me, and they don't occur to me even now when I'm going through some terrible times. I'm struggling with my mental health, and but this thought doesn't enter my mind that okay, let me try religion, maybe it'll help. No, doesn't enter my mind at all. Whereas this came into my mind: journaling, bring out whatever is there inside me, whatever little wisdom I've gained all this 61 years of my life here, and trying to make it useful for other people. Trying. I'm not. I'm not even convinced that these things help. Hearing somebody rant for an hour is going to help somebody else. No, I have no such delusions. But it feels good um bringing this out all and documenting my thoughts. Uh, it feels good, and it benefits me. It keeps my mind focused. It This is like meditation for me. This is like a good coping mechanism for my problems. This is like distracting me from not doing. harmful stuff because of my mental health issues. Uh, so yeah, that's it today. Three things: be careful of the name that you give your kid. Do not put a caste surname. Please don't. And go light on the religion. Do not uh, do this torturing and stuff at that early age. And please do not take the child on long pilgrimages to temples where there are thousands and thousands of people gathered and you have to wait in line for hours together. Why should you torture the kids like that? You have faith, you do it for yourself. That's your faith. But how can you share that uh, struggle or that trauma with your small child? Please don't do that. Yeah, that's it. I'll be back tomorrow again. Uh, Basically, trying to heal myself, and in the process, uh, giving you a little bit of ज्ञान बांटने के लिए आया हूँ. And let's see where this goes. Whether it becomes a channel or it just becomes a boomer uncle ranting about stuff nobody wants to hear. Whatever. As far as I'm concerned, I have no agenda. I have no purpose in doing this, and I have no. Uh, uh, I'm not expecting anything out of this. There are no expectations. This is just me trying to heal myself through truth and humility. That's it. Pouring out my heart, unfiltered, which feels good. This is like talking to a therapist. I'm talking to a therapist whose name is complicated, Padur Shashidharan, and he's looking at me back and repeating whatever I'm saying. So it feels good. I would like to put a name for this. Um, what do you call it? Mirror therapy, or I'll think about that. And if you have any thoughts, please comment. Uh, Please keep the comments civil, because like I said, I have no agenda here. So if you keep it civil, I feel nice. If not, then I'll have to stop those things. I won't like nasty comments under my thing. So please, and yeah, if you liked it, uh, please subscribe to this channel, which doesn't have a name as yet. Um, I will give it a name when I feel it's sustainable and it has some kind of viewership. Then I'll give it a name also, and maybe I'll learn some editing and make it look a little better and make it crisper, not 1 hour rant. I'll try to make it more uh, engaging for the younger generation. I'll try all that if you encourage me with your subscription, like it, and spread it uh, to people who might be interested in such talk. And Thanks a lot if you have listened to the whole thing or a bit of it.